Despite its arrival, our air quality today remains A-OK. If you're waiting on more warmth, just wait until tomorrow. Highs are back in the 80s, something Philly hasn't done since May 17th. And it gets even toastier midweek and humid too as highs climb near 90. That's 10 degrees above average for this time of the year.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Popped him up. Foul territory, first base side. The former Philly Rhys Hoskins reaches up, makes the catch, and the Brewers have broken out the brooms in the city of brotherly love. The Brewers win it 5-2.
The city of brotherly love. Break up the brooms. Good afternoon, everybody. Daily Ticket with you here as the Brewers announcer. Just vomiting all over that microphone. Blah. It's essentially what we were all doing watching that game on Saturday, a little bit more so on Sunday. What a bad weekend for the Fightins. Yuck. Now losers of 4 straight. Of course, that last one against the Braves, 3 against the Brewers. Get themselves a nice day off here before taking on the Blue Jays. Luke Arcaini will be joining me shortly from crossingbroad.com. We'll break it down a little bit more in detail on what exactly took place this weekend and why the Phillies decided to play terrible baseball and why they forgot how to hit. Fielding was atrocious. All of that and then some. We will get into everything from the Phillies' perspective. Oh, by the way, the moves that have been made, Taijuan Walker heading to the pen, Abel coming up. Really excited about that. I think that is a good move, a proactive move, something that is, I don't know if that's going to light a fire per se, but definitely something different. Here we are on June the 2nd. And my goodness, it's gorgeous outside. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful day. Finally in the Delaware Valley, we get some sun.
My Lord.
Thank you. And it's welcomed. That's for damn sure. Because we got nothing but rain last week. This weekend was a little tough, a little cloudy on Saturday. Sunday, yesterday looked lovely. Was lovely. And then today, got some friends that are playing in some golf outings today. And they are in for a treat. But there we start, of course, with the Phillies and what we saw this weekend. And on Saturday, it just got away from them. And Rhys Hoskins just goes yard 2 times in that game. Heck of a weekend by Rhys. I know he went 0 for 4 yesterday, but a nice return for the former first baseman here. And it's always funny, we give him the round of applause. Great to see you, Rhys. It's fun times having you here. And then, oh, by the way, as you heard, he was getting booed, and he's had some fun with that with the media after the game in game 2, where he went yard 2 times and had 6 RBIs in that game. He said, that's always the mark of something positive when the opposing fan base boos you. But again, I was not expecting this Brewers team to be able to do what they did. And I guess it starts and ends with the fact that Bryce Harper wasn't in the lineup. I know that might seem like a little bit of an excuse. Sure. But he is a big piece to the puzzle, and I would have felt a little bit better about Bryce being in the lineup, and I was surprised. As a matter of fact, when Luke Arcaini joined us on Friday, live from Citizens Bank Park, and said, that Bryce Harper would not be in the lineup, and don't expect to see him all weekend long. Damn it, Luke, you were right. Now, I don't think we were talking about that they were going to be in jeopardy of being swept by the Brew Crew without Harper there. But, man, what an ugly weekend of baseball at the bank. And I just got to ask, how did it get away from him so fast? Did it come down strictly to the fact that Bryce Harper, their leader, wasn't in the lineup? Was it the fact that, all of a sudden they're just making terrible plays out in the field? What happened this weekend against the Brewers in your mind?
Yeah, it was just a sloppy weekend. And it's not like Bryce Harper's having, some big crazy MVP like season to start the year, but people don't understand, like, if you don't see Harper's name in the lineup, it automatically just feels easier for the other team, no matter how he's playing at that moment. So I think as far as the lineup, the lineup just gets pretty thin when you don't have Harper. I mean, you have Schwarber up at the top with Turner, but I mean, other than that, you're forced to hit Alec Boehm third right now, who, while he's had a pretty good last month, not many people are scared of Alec Boehm this year hitting third rather than Harper. So I mean, I think that's one thing. I think the second thing is it was just really sloppy. And yes, there were some, I think, situations that I don't think we'll see that much for the rest of the year. I don't think we're going to see Jesus Luzardo give up 12 earned runs in a start for the rest of the year.
Fair.
And if he does, we probably have some issues. And yeah, I mean, Saturday was just, I don't really have much to say about that. It was just really bad. 17-1 at one point. But yeah, I mean, so it was just an ugly weekend. Ugly weekend. This was a much needed day off for them, I think. But now they have some winnable games this week, right? They go up to Toronto. Seems like so they did actually shuffle the rotation around a little bit. Zach Wheeler and his wife are expecting their child like any day now. So he won't pitch in Toronto. So it'll be Christopher Sanchez tomorrow. Mick Abel will go on Wednesday instead of Thursday. And then Jesus Luzardo will get a revenge start in the series finale on Thursday in Toronto.
Your thoughts if Abel comes out there and pitches like he did in that one start, albeit against the Pirates? He's been pretty good in the minor leagues as well. Your thoughts if Abel continues to show flashes of dominance? Is there a chance that they say, you know what, thanks, and it's on to the next? Or do you think he could find himself with a spot in this rotation moving forward?
Yeah, so when we talked to Rob Thompson on I guess that was Sunday, what he basically made it seem like to us was this isn't just another spot start. Mick Abel's going to be here at least until Aaron Nola comes back. Aaron Nola threw a bullpen on Sunday. I believe they said he's going to need to do a live BP before they send him on a rehab start. So that'll probably be another 3 days till he throws a live BP. And he probably won't throw a rehab start till 5 days after that. So, I mean, you're looking for probably about 2 weeks at least until you see Nola again. So, listen, I mean, that probably frees up at least another start other than Wednesdays in Toronto for Abel. They're rewarding him for his comeback and his year that he's had so far in AAA. He has an ERA under 1 in his last 5 starts. That's with his MLB debut in it. He's just been pitching the ball really well. His issues in the past that has made him struggle aren't there anymore. He's not walking guys nearly as much as he used to. That's really always been the big issue with him. So it seems like the Phillies are going to give him a chance. They're going to give him a few starts here. So I guess that would line him up. So if he's pitching Wednesday in Toronto, I guess that would maybe set him up for the series finale in Pittsburgh then. That's my guess. So it would either be the series finale in Pittsburgh or the opening game Monday, June 9th against the Cubs. But yeah, no, this isn't just like a spot start like his first one. From what we've heard from Rob Thompson, he's going to be up here at least until Aaron Nola comes back.
Talking to Luke Arcaini, of course, the Phillies topic of discussion to start here on a Monday, especially after losing a 4 straight. No panic at all. Again, people just need to go ahead and look at what the standings are. They're 36-23, even after losing 4 straight, 5-5 in their last 10. But it is a fun conversation to have because you're looking at the top of the division with the New York Mets, who are winners of 8 straight, have played well against teams with winning records. One of those teams happened to be the Dodgers when they took 2 of 3 at home at Citi Field. Now on the road in L.A., Dodgers just took 2 of 3 against the Yankees. They're playing really well, but dealing with some fair share of injuries also. Yeah. But it will be interesting to see what happens in that 4-game set. Not a lot of baseball on the card this evening. I think only 8 games. That's definitely one that has my attention. Staying, though, of course, with the Phillies here. And what is the latest with Bryce Harper? And again, is it just we're on to the next? It's 162. Everybody take a deep breath. And he got himself a nice little breather there this weekend. He'll be back in the mix in Toronto.
Yeah, so obviously did not play at all this weekend. Rob Thompson said Sunday after the game that he did swing and throw at like full sort of capacity during the game on Sunday. Unless some crazy thing happens, I'm expecting him to be back in the lineup on Tuesday. He made it seem like Harper will be back for the series opener in Toronto. So yeah, no real worry there for Harper. The Phillies dodged a bullet because it seems like that hit almost like his funny bone.
Yeah,
that's kind of what he almost made it seem like. And you know, that could have been an elbow broken or something a lot worse. So the Phillies dodged a bullet there. They could have lost him for a few months, and they lost him for only a few games.
All right, you know what everybody's saying right now. Of course, when you go up against a team like the Brewers, who could be in the playoffs, and they're winning 7 straight. Of course, we go against the Braves. I know they had success against the Braves. Mets had their number. The winning team conversation, and this team, I know John Clark put out a tweet that started up a little bit. I think they're 10-18 versus teams with winning records. I just say it's all about the schedule in front of them. And this Blue Jays team is a pretty good team. So I think this is going to be an interesting test. Anytime you get in that AL East division, it always hits me a little bit different. What are you saying about this series upcoming north of the border?
Yeah, no, it should be a good one. We'll see the old friend Jeff Hoffman out there.
Nice.
It should be a good one. They're not necessarily playing the best baseball, Toronto, but they're not having a bad year. I think the biggest question with Toronto is, how they play the next 2 months. They're 31-28. They're 5.5 back of the Yankees. Right now they are a game or a half a game out of a wild card spot. So the next 2 months is going to determine a lot for their future. And it's kind of funny to say that, but if they fall out of a playoff spot, there's probably a good chance that they're going to look to trade Bo Bichette at the trade deadline. Seems like he's had some iffiness in the past about re-signing there. He's about to be on his expiring deal. I think that's something to look out for with Toronto for the next 2 months. Yeah, I mean, it should be a good one. Obviously, last year, the last time the Phillies went to Toronto, Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs in 1 game. So hoping maybe we can get another one of those or at least something like that this upcoming series. But no, this should be a nice little stretch here. Ideally, you win 4 of the next 6 against Toronto and the Pirates, and then you come home to a really good Chicago Cubs team that people tend to forget. We already took 2 or 3 from them as well. I like a lot of people using this record against winning teams, but at the same time, the Phillies have also beat the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Diamondbacks, the Braves, all these teams in series this year. So I think that argument kind of has to go both ways sometimes. But if the sky falls after 4 games, there's no other side to the argument there.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, we will of course catch up tomorrow. A little preview of the 3-game series against the Blue Jays. Quickly though, around the horn when it comes to the league. Anything you're taking from that Yankees-Dodgers series? We had a blowout in game 2. Yankees bounced back and got the victory last night. Judge and Ohtani went back, to open up a game. First time in Major League Baseball history that reigning MVPs homered in the same inning. I believe in the same game, if I'm not mistaken, too, as well. Just really cool for the state of the game as far as baseball is concerned. Unfortunate that it started at 10 o'clock Saturday was a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, Saturday was a 7:00 start, so a little bit better, but still, anything you're taking from that series between those two titans of teams?
Yeah, no, that was a fun one to watch. Obviously, like you said, the one game was a blowout. It's actually funny. The Phillies lost 17-7 on Saturday, and they didn't have the worst loss of the day. So that was nice to see. But yeah, just two really good teams going at it. Yeah, it's great for baseball when the Dodgers and the Yankees are up there at the best teams. So watching that go down in LA, obviously that first inning, like you said, with Shohei and Judge, I've run out of words for at least regular season Aaron Judge, because the dude's hitting around 400 right now. And then you go and look down the Dodgers, and Shohei Ohtani's obviously their number one option, but then you go look at a guy like Freddie Freeman, who's hitting like 350 this year. It's just two really good teams going at it. So other than Saturday, yeah, it was a fun weekend out there in LA.
Oh yeah. And then last but not least, unfortunate news out of Arizona. Corbin Burns looks like he's going for an MRI, and it did not look good. So my big picture question to you right now is, can the Orioles pitch that back to the naysayers? And I know they've been brutal, but for everybody that was losing their mind, could they now say, well, did we get it right by not re-signing Burns?
Maybe they can. Yeah, maybe they can. I'll tell you what, that is a team that's going to be trading for pitching at the end of July. The Diamondbacks, because
gotcha.
they've got a sweet lineup out there in Arizona. They've had a nice year at the plate. I will say that this deadline is very pitcher heavy rather than bat heavy, so they're going to have some options. I will say one of them that's really come to mind, and I think one that people are going to have to hope you get a bounce back of, Sandy Alcantara.
Yep.
In Miami has had a really rough year, but I think some people are going to try and hopefully hope that you get the previous one out of Sandy and not this year's Sandy.
All right, last one, Luke, because I know you're a big golfer. We had some blowouts on the course and off the course yesterday. Scotty Scheffler.
Funny that you say that. I'm actually on the golf course right now.
I can tell. The wind's buzzing. How you hitting them?
We are about to tee off in about 2 minutes.
I appreciate you hopping on me. Your thoughts on Scotty Scheffler plus 280? Damn it!
Yeah, this is the best golfer we've seen since Tiger Woods. It's not even close. The dude's a freak. Ben Griffin went eagle birdie on 15-16 yesterday to get him 4 shots back after going 3 under in 2 holes. So that kind of shows you exactly what Scotty Scheffler is. He's a freak. He's probably going to win the U.S. Open. I will certainly be betting it no matter what the number is. The dude's just an absolute.
What are you going to shoot today?
The goal is 79. I will report back after.
Damn.
And I will let you know.
That's a flex. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Try.
There he is.
There, son. Thank you.
Arcaini live on a course. He's like, I got 10. I'm like, you bet your ass I need 10. They got swept. We got to open up the show talking about this. And I don't want to open up going nuts about, this team's missing this, or it's June. We constantly refer to the calendar when we talk about this baseball team when they do lose games, but it's the realistic point of view. And I'm not, the sky's falling type of guy. I know you can get that in plenty of spaces and airwaves that you want to find it. That's not what you're going to hear here. I think this team has an embarrassment of riches at pitching. They need to figure that out. I expect Nola to bounce back and return to Nola form, a guy that you can count on, a guy that was a solid number 2 starter. I think Mick Abel is the real deal. I also think Painter is the real deal. I'd like to see both of those guys, as Abel is coming up right now because of what the Wheeler's going through with his wife. She looks lovely, too. I just want to say my wife looked absolutely gorgeous when she was pregnant. It's like, I'll tell you what, there's some people out there that, some freaks out there that like that sort of thing. I just, the woman is concentrated. I leave her alone, but she looked lovely. Wheeler's wife, they put out an Instagram post where he's dancing. My wife and I weren't doing that. God bless him. But hopefully they have themselves another healthy baby. I think they've had a couple, if I'm not mistaken. But she looked good in that picture. She's just about to give birth to another child. Crazy, absolutely crazy what women do. Unbelievable how strong they are. I'd like to say that they're superheroes, but then they don't want to hear that. No, they're just average people. But man, it's crazy what women do when it comes to giving birth. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick left turn. We got a lot going on. We will continue talking all things Major League Baseball front and center, and with a little bit of a focus on the fightings with the dude who is about as electric as it gets. Colby Marchio is going to be joining us, and he is taking the timeline by storm. He is all over the place talking Major League Baseball, and it's great, man. It's great to see. He's been doing it for a long time, so I'm not going to sit here and say he's a newbie or anything like that, but for some he is. And it's great to have baseball have a personality like that is getting the juices going, having some fun on the timeline, not taking himself too seriously. And Colby was on the show a couple weeks ago. Could not wait to get him back on the show. As I said, he is continuing to crush it. I think he was booked a number of times this week, and I saw him a couple different outlets. And our good friend Stephanie Smalls is having him on her show on Wednesday. So shout out Colby. He's going to drop by at 4:00 on the Gambler stream. So a lot more baseball coming your way. And maybe we can even get a couple winning plays out of Colby. I don't know if the Mariners are in action. Let me pull up that card because I know he's been betting the Seattle Mariners, specifically this guy, a lot.
It's swung on, crushed, right field. It's on its way. Goodbye. Cal Raleigh does it again. He is unbelievable. The home run leader in baseball strikes again. Cal Raleigh going deep.
Yeah, that surprised me. 23 bombs. 23 bombs by the Seattle Mariners catcher. And if you're not paying attention, and you didn't just hear that, you wouldn't know that he is now leading a Major League Baseball. More home runs than Shohei, more home runs than Schwartz, more home runs than Judge. Pretty crazy stuff up there in Seattle. And of course, that's how it's going to be as we pull up the standings, because I was pretty heavy on the Seattle Mariners last year. I was pumping them up pretty good last year, and it didn't really work out. But this year, 32-26 on top of the West currently right now. Astros, though, Mark Henry Jr. got to give him credit on that one because I was trying to pour dirt on them with all the changes that they went through. Not so fast. 32-27 Rangers. DeGrom just pitched. He's not the DeGrom of old where he can mow you down and get double-digit strikeouts. But, man, he's still got some movement, still got some zip. I think he had 6 strikeouts yesterday, got the job done. Rangers just a tick under 500 there. The Detroit Tigers, though, if you haven't been paying attention, the best record in baseball with 39 wins, 39-21. As I said, more Major League Baseball conversation coming up with Colby at 4:00. He's going to bring the juice. He's going to bring the energy. All right, with that being said, that Judge and Ohtani stuff was great. We talked about it a little bit. I did a show with Dick Girardi on Saturday, the great Dick Girardi. And it's just a shame that, and I don't know what it is, but things have changed. Our viewing habits have changed. Our sports that we like more have changed. I don't know if it's the fact that I have no idea what is going into this, but Ohtani versus Judge versus Ohtani should have had a Sosa McGuire feel. It really should have. And then what do they do in the first inning? They go yard in the game 1 on Friday night. So for anybody that was staying up to 10-10 first pitch, what do? You open up with this.
Here's pitch swing on a high fly ball. Center field and deep. Center fielder just giving up on it. That baby's way gone. Aaron Judge. And the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
And then, anything you can do, I can do better. Bottom of the first, Shohei.
Into his windup. Kicks and deals. First pitch swinging, hit in the air. Well to left center field. Did you? Shohei Ohtani ties it in a blink.
It's crazy. You get those two type of superstars. And look, I know we have been in this conversation before when it came to Mike Trout. But I think we could even sit here and say right here, right now, that as great as Mike Trout was, Ohtani is going to be a better player. And I know I get it with what Trout's doing now and his health of years, but like try and hit the rewind button. Put yourself in those years when Mike Trout was just a top dog and crushing the baseball, stealing, playing great outfield, not winning games, but still. And Ohtani, as great as he is been from day one, and Judge what he continues to do through a new contract with the Yankees. Like, we could be watching the best left-handed hitter in Major League Baseball history in Shohei Ohtani, and Aaron Judge. The numbers are just stupid. Could potentially be the best right-handed hitter in baseball's history. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And I just felt like that game needed a little bit more fanfare. I don't know. Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree. Maybe baseball is kind of falling down a little bit as far as the pecking order is concerned for people in the timeline. And that's always the caveat. Like, how are we judging this? The fact that people aren't tweeting about it? I'm using less and less of Twitter these days. Hell, the only reason why I'm on Twitter is to see Colby go nuts. That's about it. I kid. It's a great place to catch information for all things sports, but I'm even sliding out of the X game. More so on Instagram these days, and Instagram threads, as the kids say. Anyways, if you watched that weekend series, you have any takes from all things Major League Baseball, at Fox PHL Gambler, at Fox PHL Gambler. Love to get you involved. Great stuff from Luke. We'll get him involved tomorrow. And we got a jam-packed week of shows coming your way. Actually, I'm off on Friday. So Monday through Thursday, jam-packed 4 days of shows here on the Daily Ticket Live, 3 to 6 p.m. On today's show, as I said, Colby's going to join me at 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock, over to the NBA with Sam Ostry, talking about the Knicks losing to the Indiana Pacers. We'll get a day out of that. I know. The Pacers won, so the focus needs to be on the Indiana Pacers. My good friend Mark Drumheller chimed in earlier today. He's like, hey, man, the Knicks didn't win. The Pacers won. Talk about the Pacers. And he's having fun with it, but it's the reality of the situation. It's the truth of the matter, right? And now you almost look at what took place in New York, and it's fun to assess what didn't go right versus, okay, now let's talk about the NBA Finals, the preview with the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here's what I would say. Game 1 is until Thursday. So we'll have some fun with the New York Knicks on the other side. And I don't know when New York Knicks fans all of a sudden closed their eyes and then woke up and in front of them was the Bulls of the 90s, the Lakers and Celtics of the 80s, the Warriors with Steph in his prime. I didn't know that the Knicks have LeBron James playing from, his rookie season. And then like the Knicks had a great season, had a fun season, but now what took place is not good enough. And there's people talking about firing Tom Thibodeau and saying that he cannot take them to the promised land, to where they want to get. Like, hold up, man. Calm down. Just had a hell of a run. And as Thibs said, you made it to the final 3, which we're going to have some fun with that. Look, there's a whole line of discussion to get into as far as the Knicks are concerned. They ended up losing the Eastern Conference Finals, as we said on Saturday. Pacers was an easy winner in there. Cashed in a lot in that series. Only got one game wrong as far as spread was concerned between the Pacers and the Knicks. So hopefully we can keep some of that mojo going into the NBA Finals. Let's go ahead and dip our toe into the finals water. But again, assessing what exactly went wrong with the New York Knicks and what they can do moving forward. Is it as simple as getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant? Because I ain't buying that. Sorry. Come on, man. We're talking about Kevin Durant like he's in his prime as well. Karl Anthony Towns balled out. I know. I think that there's something the Knicks could do, and it has nothing to do with just hitting the reset button and getting rid of everybody not named Jalen Brunson. I'll give you my way of going about it as far as the offseason is concerned, and Tom Thibodeau is staying as the head coach for the New York Knicks. Let's start there. But anyways, we'll go hit on that on the other side. A lot to do. Daily Ticket on a Monday. More after this.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise! The event,
our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
presented by Capital One.
Live. Welcome. One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo!
Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed tomorrow morning.
At 8.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
For example, the Vine Expressway, both ways, Schuylkill to Broad, westbound Schuylkill Heavy, University to Vine, and Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound Jan getting on at 202. Then stop and go Montgomery Drive to South, 95 northbound stacked up Girard to Bridge. All right, so tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
If you're into true crime Tonight will be your new obsession.
We're unpacking the latest true crime headlines with our team of experts, covering all of the major trials that are heating up this summer.
From the team that brought you the Piketon Massacre and Murder 101, it's a first-of-its-kind live interactive true crime radio show.
5 nights a week, we go live with bold opinions, expert insight, and real-time listener call-ins.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search True Crime Tonight, and start binging now.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
iHeartRadio just gave driving an upgrade with Presets, now on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Your go-to stations, podcasts, and playlists, all just a tap away on your dash. Start your engine, hit play, and drive happy. Free with iHeartRadio on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Camping is such an adventure. I love how there's a surprise around every corner. Except when I'm surprised with a sudden allergy attack. Luckily, I've got Claritin D to attack back. And I didn't even need a prescription for this.
Get fast, powerful relief from your worst symptoms, like nasal congestion. It's so fast, it starts working in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I can enjoy sleeping under the stars instead of sneezing under them.
Claritin clears. Use as directed.
Hey man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No.
Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Hey now, Daily Tickets. Colby Marchio coming up here at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, back over to the NBA, the association. The finals are here. Everything tips off on Thursday. Game 1, DraftKings showing OKC a monster 9-point favorite. Understood. Yeah, you're talking about a great defense. Very surprising to a point. Total coming in at 230 in that game. 230. Yeah, that was what was hitting me a little bit more so than anything in the series between the Pacers and the Knicks was just how many points are the Oklahoma City Thunder going to score versus the Pacers. I'm looking at that team total, and it's a monster 120, but I will be betting over 120 for the Oklahoma City Thunder in game 1. Yes, I think that they are going to. Now, look, it's one of those deals where it's never as easy as it looks on paper. I know that there's some people out there pitching 4. I know that most people are saying 5. It makes sense as far as with money coming in. DraftKings put the Joe Public on the Pacers. I think money 75. The spread total at 80% of the plays on the Pacers, and that's understood because it's such a high number from Oklahoma City's perspective that, yeah, if you want to get involved, I would imagine a lot more people will be wagering on the Pacers. But when you break this series down and you look at the matchups, it's really hard for me to get to the Pacers. And I know that they have been Cinderella, essentially, from starting to where we're at now in the playoffs. And I know that that's not fair for the people that do pay attention to the NBA. The Pacers have been playing great, especially since the All-Star break. They started 10-15 to open up the season. And this is a team that had expectations based off of what they did last year. So they fumbled a little bit out of the chute. Didn't play well to start the season, but since that All-Star break, since the new year, they have just been on fire. One of the better teams in the game. So there's no surprise they're at this spot at this point in time of the season playing an NBA Finals. Got to give them a ton of credit. They were the better team in this series against the New York Knicks. We'll see what happens against Oklahoma City. Again, more of that conversation coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll go really in detail. I do want to put out this, though, from Julian Edlow. Does a great job over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Some NBA Finals notes on OKC versus Indy. Thunder at home this postseason, 8-1 straight up, 7-2 ATS. 8 wins by an average of 27.9 points. 7 covers were all wins by 15-plus points. Pacers on the road this postseason, 6-2 straight up ATS, 6 covers by 14 points per game. Thunder on the road this season, they're 4-3. He goes in. I retweeted it, but great breakdown of both home and away splits there from both teams in the NBA Finals. I don't think the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to lay off the gas pedal. I think they're going to score in bunches, and defensively, they're going to give Tyrese Halliburton the fits and then some. These two teams have played twice already. OKC took them both 2-0. They were 2-0 against the Knicks as well. But the one thing that caught my attention is that Halliburton was limited to 18 in one game and 4 in the other. It was the day after Christmas. Maybe he was feeling a little bit, heavy from stuffing his face with all that Christmas food. I don't know. But he finished with 4 points, and I would give the benefit of the doubt to that OKC defense more than the Christmas turkey. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, I'm excited. And for the people, let's just get this out in the open. Let's get this out there for all you ratings junkies. The facts are the facts. These two teams, it's the first time since 1971 they have 2 teams out of the top 20 markets that are facing off in the NBA Finals. Understood. But these two teams have great players. These two teams have great styles, contrast, going head-to-head, great offense, great defense, good coaching. It's the NBA Finals. When I watch a game, I don't think to myself, well, gee, I don't know if I can enjoy this second quarter of action here because the ratings aren't going to be good. And people are going to poo-poo this series. No, that doesn't go through my mind. And nor should it go through your mind as well. When do we turn into this? Like, all right, let the people that cover this stuff write their headlines and get their content out, because it is a slow time of year. It's June 2nd. I'm going to talk about a Madden curse coming up. Yeah, it's a slow time of year. But you don't have to kick the NBA Finals in the groin because we have two small team markets facing off. Indiana is a basketball town. I think Rick Carlisle said, well, I'm going to butcher it. Basketball is big in all states, but they're not Indiana. I butchered it. Yeah. Well, pour dirt on me on that one. I didn't get that one right. It said something along those lines when he was trying to grab Ernie Johnson's mic, which was pretty funny. EJ was like, yeah, I'll hold it. You can say what you want, big dog, but I'm not giving you the microphone. Take notes of that, kids. Like, do you really watch something and like, no one else is watching this, so I'm not going to care too much. No. So let these people write what they want. It's going to be a good series. I hope it's not a sweep. I hope it's not 5 games. I got Mark Henry Jr. pitching the idea that this potentially could go 7. That would be awesome because nobody is saying that. He thinks that Indiana is going to get one of the first 2 games. I hope he is right and then some. Hell, take game 1. But it's going to be tough just because of the matchups. You got SGA, who's unstoppable. And, oh, by the way, that defense, and I think they're going to have success going up against Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. Pascal Siakam, the MVP for the Eastern Conference Finals. A lot of people were upset by that. A lot of people that had money on Tyrese Halliburton winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and I understand because at the end of the day, he was a pretty big favorite, especially going into that final game. It should have been his award. Siakam led the series in points scored. I get it, but other than that, Halliburton was number 1 in everything. Assists. I think he was number 1 in rebounds, steals. You go down the list, all the big categories, Tyrese Halliburton was number 1 in the ECF, and he didn't win it. I don't know. We'll talk more about that coming up. But the NBA Finals right here, right now. DraftKings Sportsbook still showing the 9 series price down to -700. OKC favored -700. Yeah, good luck wagering on that from that perspective. But
my Lord,
if you do like the Pacers, you can get them at +500. We'll see. Look at the series spread. I have a cut from Julian Edlow from DraftKings Sportsbook. He joined me last week. And we asked him, how are you going to wager on this series with the price being what it was? We already knew what those numbers were going into game 5 of or game 6 even of the Eastern Conference Finals. So here we are. Not much change. I think it came down, like I said, just a little bit from OKC's perspective, -700, but still. So Edlow laid out how he plans to approach this NBA Finals. And, oh, by the way, he will be on the show on Thursday. We'll talk more exactly about that. All right. With that being said, from the weekend as well, I love it. When you do a show daily, you say things, and you're going to say things that are right. People are going to like them. You're going to say things that are wrong, and people are going to pick apart those, and that's fine. I do want to be upfront and say that I wholeheartedly thought that Scottie Scheffler would defend the Memorial Crown. I thought for sure that he would be a top 2, top 4 final pairing, whatever it may be come Sunday, and well worth if you wanted to play Scottie Scheffler at +280 to a point. Maybe not, because if you go back and listen to my words, maybe I'm a little strong there. I remember clearly saying that +280, who in their right mind would be playing Scottie Scheffler? Well, guess what? If you want to win, you would play it. +280 is +280. And that's what Scottie was going into the Memorial on Wednesday/Thursday morning. And he delivered. And then some. And it's insane to be able to watch this dude play. On Wednesday, when we got into the Memorial conversation, I pulled up that number, and we talked about how he did not get the job done in that Charles Schwab outing the previous weekend, which surprised people. Griffin played well, held on to it, but I think Scottie didn't get the job done in those final couple holes. and therefore he fell short. Maybe that might have been the juice that he needed. It's all he needed. But he posted a final round 70 out there in Ohio at the Memorial. Jack's place, 4-shot win. It gave him his 3rd win of the season, 16th of his tour career. Now, only Sam Snead, Jack, and Tiger have reached 16 wins quicker in their careers than Scheffler has. This was also Scheffler's 3rd successful title defense on tour in his career, which is pretty cool because I stumbled across a good tweet here from Justin Ray. Scottie Scheffler closed out with the win. 3 successful title defenses, Phoenix, Sawgrass, and Muirfield Village. Over the last 30 years, only 2 players will have had more. Phil, 5, and Tiger Woods, 23. While I'm on the world of golf, let me just bring this up. Because I don't know, man. Like when you start a tweet, when you start a take by saying, hey, here's a hot take for you, I guess we're supposed to leave it alone. Like, this dude came out and said it's a hot take, so you can't pick it apart. It's like a trust tree. But this dude, Back 9 Ben. There you go, Back 9 Ben. There's a shout. Back 9 Ben seems like a nice guy. Hot take. Tiger Woods was dominant 20 years ago, primarily because of relatively weak competition on tour. Scottie Scheffler has now become the most dominant player since Tiger, primarily because of relatively weak competition on the PGA Tour. It's a solo game, right? And I get pressure plays into it, but I don't really care. I think Scottie is the best of the best, and no matter who's out there on the course with them. More times than not, he's going to hit the shot. More times than not, he's going to sink the putt. More times than not, he's going to win. I don't know how we could quantify it, whatever way you want to go about it. He is the best damn golfer we have seen since Tiger. And we've had some great stretches and some great runs from Dustin Johnson, of course, Jordan. You can go down the list of the greats. Colin Morikawa had a little bit of a run, right? Rory is potentially on the best run. I would say Rory is just a tad bit below Scottie. And as I said on Wednesday last week, don't take my word for it. Justin Thomas, who knows a thing or two about winning on the PGA Tour, said as much. Scottie's incredible. And when you're throwing up numbers like plus 280 and cashing in, it's just a different monster, different world. And Scottie's doing Scottie things. Now, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have some bigger names up there. Seb Straka's been playing well this season. He was a tad bit off the pace, so I didn't really count him in as far as making moves to potentially win. Ben Griffin's been playing his ass off. New guy out of nowhere for a lot of people. One down there in Zurich, just won last week in the Charles Schwab and came up just short yesterday. And Jack, I know Jack was on the microphone and he had some very pointed things to say, and I understand what he meant, and I don't think he was wrong. But he provided those guys with a little bit of inspiration. All right, Jack, you don't think we're on the same page as a Xander Schauffele, as a Justin Thomas, as a Rory? Well, I got work to do. Good. Hopefully those guys will continue to get better and have their games progress. And if you heard the cut, then you know what I'm saying. If you didn't, Jack, after Scottie ended up winning, he was sitting at the microphone. Jack's definitely getting up there in age. God bless him. He's been around a long time and still doing great things, raising money, still a legend in the game. And he's on the microphone speaking right from the hip, firing, talking about, the leaderboard and how Scottie didn't have anything to worry about. It was good. I was trying to get a look at what Scottie was doing. I think he just had his head down. It was just like, whatever. Jack was ripping this week. He was freestyling, as they say, right? What did he was talking about on-course interviews. And I think he said if you tried to interview Ben Hogan on course, it would knock you or hit you in the face, punch you right in the mouth. Sure. Back in those days, why not? I'm an in-game interview type of guy. I know that probably hit some people the wrong way. A lot of people are very anti-bothering the players during the game. It's a regular season game. It doesn't bother me. Interviewing these golfers as they're walking from tee to green doesn't bother me. And sometimes you get a little something, right? Like, that's always the point. But even then, the naysayers wouldn't give it up. Like, if Scotty gave you a detailed answer as he's walking from 17 tee to 17 green about what he needs to do in the next shot. And, oh, by the way, feeling the pressure and hearing the roars of the crowd, just give you a great, precise answer. People would still be anti-bothering these players during the game. I get it. I am not one of those guys. I like the access. I don't think you're bothering them, or else they would be very vocal about that. Like, hey, I don't think they're doing it because they want to grow the game. I just think it's a little cool addition to the broadcast. And I'm always looking to enhance broadcasts. I like that. So if you're allowed to enter into their world, and again, I hate it when, the balls hit their way, but it's pretty cool, right? You get Nick Castellanos out there in right field, and he's having some fun on the microphone, or Bryson Stott or Brandon Marsh. Yeah, Casty ain't doing it. But one of those guys, and the balls hit their way and they make the play, I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, I know that there's a lot of anti-bothering the players during the week or during the game there. All right, keeping it moving. A lot to get to. As I said, we'll get back over to the world of baseball coming up at 4 o'clock. Colby Marchio is going to join us. Your betting news is where you can find him. We'll hit on all of that as far as where we can find him. He's an electric follow and bringing it to a timeline near you. Now, real quick, if we could. Football season inching closer. Hey, now, we like that. There are some people out there that are believing what we just found out today could work against the Philadelphia Eagles / Saquon Barkley. It was announced today that Saquon Barkley will be on the cover of the Rolling Stone. No, I can't. We take all kinds of pills that give us all kinds of thrills. One day you'll never know. The cover of Madden. Madden 26. Saquon Barkley, come on down. He hurdled his way onto the cover. Pretty cool. August 8th or August 14th. You can pre-order today. Our friends over at Crossing Broad. Will Saquon Barkley experience the Madden curse? Here are the last 4 cover athlete seasons. They were on the cover. McCaffrey missed 13 games last year. Josh Allen, only 44 total touchdowns. Tom Brady, 5,300 yards, 44 touchdowns. Mahomes, 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns. McCaffrey is the one that we would look at. Yeah. And other than that, I'm not worried about it. I think it's pretty cool, though. And there's something else going on down at Geno's where they're calling it Steakquans. Steakquans has a little bit of a ring to it. Just saying. And they're doing all sorts of construction. I would assume that's going to be some sort of activation this week, maybe even longer. But for a place like Geno's, I'm just curious. I would love to know the number. A place like Geno's, to change their name for Saquon Barkley, Steakquans. And if you haven't seen it yet, check it out on a timeline near you as far as what the images look like. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But for them to say, you know what? Yeah, you could have our place, billboards, all that. We'll change the name for a week. I know it's all fun. And of course, it's in a benefit of the Philadelphia Eagles / Saquon Barkley, which is about as big as it gets right now in the city and of course in the NFL world. I would like to know the number because there's always a number. So Madden contacts Geno's. Hey, this is the idea. What will it cost? What's the number? That's the question I want answered.
My Lord.
I would imagine there's going to be a couple zeros attached to that. Just a guess. Just a guess. Looks pretty cool, though. And if you're in that area, I would imagine sliding on by there to see what it's all about would be a pretty good time. With that being said, if you have been and you have any more details and information, love to hear from you. At Fox PHL Gambler. At Fox PHL Gambler. Do you believe in the Madden curse? We still doing this? Madden curse was like 2 decades ago. We still believe in this? Yeah, I don't. Bring on all of the magazine covers, all of the talking heads, anything you want. I want to be front and center. That's the way I like it when my teams are talked about the most, always in a good manner, positive manner. Not when they're losing games like the 76ers and tanking in their story. Yeah, nobody likes that. We like when they're a positive conversation behind them. And you can't say anything negative about the Super Bowl champions. I was going to hit the Bradley Cooper stuff, but I'm late for a break. Colby Marchio joins me on the other side. We'll talk about the Phillies, his take from being swept versus the Brew Crew. I want to get into the NL East. Are we putting dirt on the Atlanta Braves a little bit too soon? How good are the New York Mets? When you look at the Mets, they've been doing this out without production from Juan Soto. His thoughts on what Soto's numbers are going to look like after it's all said and done this season. And we're going to even mix in some fun from the weekend. There was the new trailer for Happy Gilmore 2 released. I know that's the golf world, but man, they had a ton of cameos. If there's a major actor that could be in that movie, they are. And Colby, not sold. He's not sold on remakes from 30 years ago. You're going to get a little bit more into details on that one because I think it looks great. We'll have some fun, though. All things baseball. Colby Marchio on the other side. It's the Daily Take more after this.
Looking for the perfect outdoor dining experience with a view? Join us at Randall's Restaurant, located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Don't miss out on our summer promotions, including burgers and brew night every Tuesday starting June 10th, with delicious chef-crafted burgers paired with a refreshing selection of brews. On July 4th weekend, drink specials to celebrate the holiday, and Wine Fest coming in late August. More details at randallslegacy.com. That's randallslegacy.com.
Hey, it's Natalie Eganoff with your Philly Sports Trips Sports Minute, your fast break of everything Philly sports. This segment is presented by Philly Sports Trips. Book your next game day experience at phillysportstrips.com. NBA Conference Finals continue. It's the Pacers versus the Knicks in the East and OKC versus the Timberwolves in the West. Reports state the Sixers are expected to receive a ton of trade calls about the third overall pick ahead of the 2025 NBA draft. Some Flyers news. The team announced that Ian LePerrier will rejoin the organization as an advisor to hockey operations. He'll transition from his previous role as the head coach of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and serve as an advisor to Danny Briere and president of hockey operations, Keith Jones. Phillies close out their series against the Braves. They'll welcome the Brewers to town this weekend. Want to get out of town to catch the Phils? Philly Sports Trips is filling the park in San Francisco and San Diego the first week of July. Book today at phillysportstrips.com. That's your Philly Sports Trip Sports Minute. Want to catch a game like a VIP? Tailgates, travels, tickets, they do it all. Visit phillysportstrips.com and make your next trip unforgettable.
This Sports Minute was presented by Philly Sports Trips, premium travel and tailgating experiences for the passionate fans of Philadelphia. With exclusive parties, luxury tailgates, and VIP access to the best fan experiences around, go to phillysportstrips.com today and book your next trip. That's phillysportstrips.com.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes give you options from a meal of classic faves to a feast of more indulgences to a whole world of deliciousness. Get Lux for less and choose your Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Eagles running back Saquon Barkley will grace the cover of Madden NFL 26. Barkley shown doing one of his famous hurdles over an opponent. To baseball, where Philly slugger Bryce Harper is expected to be back in the lineup tomorrow in Toronto. He's been out for nearly a week after he took a pitch off his elbow. And Americans Coco Gauff and Madison Keys advanced to the French Open quarterfinals today with straight set victories in fourth-round action. I'm Scott Davidson.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We're down the Schuylkill westbound University Teacher Bar, then Crawling Boulevard to Belmont. with a disable vehicle in the right lane. Eastbound Schuylkill, stop and go Montgomery Drive to south. 95 northbound jam, Vine Expressway up to Bridge Street. All right, to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hurry into DQ for their sauced and tossed chicken strip baskets with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Try them today in Honey Barbecue or New Buffalo, only at DQ. Happy tastes good, only at participating Dairy Queen locations.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get the Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians. She can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, the Gambler.
Let's go, boys and girls. Let's go. Been plugging it. Could not wait to reunite with this gentleman. He's bringing the electricity to your timeline daily, nightly, mornings, noons, you name it. He's all over the place. I saw him on every outlet possible this weekend. He is crushing it. Colby Marchio joining us right now. Your betting news. Now, Colby, let me set the stage here. All right. So here's the deal. Apparently you've been wagering on this guy all season long, and he's paying off and then some. So give me the reaction after this happened.
It's swung on, crushed, right field. It's on its way. Goodbye. Cal Raleigh does it again. Unbelievable. The home run leader in baseball strikes again. Cal Raleigh going deep.
I could go poll 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people in Philadelphia. And I've been like, who's leading the league in home runs right now? I'm telling you right now, maybe 5 would say Cal Raleigh. But apparently you've been cashing in on this catcher from Seattle. Take us through it.
Yeah, you got to bust out the Jason Giambi thong and just throw that dumper around. If you're not a big dumper fan, you're not a fan of baseball. That first catcher, was it 20 home runs before June? If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I recall hearing 500 times. It's impressive. He's batting kind of like Schwarber. You guys in Philly know he's kind of got a similar style. It's just home runs, strikeouts, walks. Doesn't have a high average, but he's all power from that rear end of his. That's why they call him the big dumper.
And they're putting it together out there in Seattle this year, unlike last year.
You're talking to a guy with an under wins on Seattle this season as well. So I'm really hoping they take a dive.
Ooh, well, yeah. Colby M. Betts on socials. Mandatory follow if not already. Again, man, nice work, dude. Great job.
Thank you.
I mean, you're absolutely crushed. I saw you going out with Smalls on Wednesday. Love me some stuff.
Smalls is the best. It's very rare. What's funny is she'll be texting me, and then her producer will be like, "Hey, you want to come on Wednesday?" She can't text me. I don't want to throw her under the bus, but she's like, yeah, I could have just texted you.
We shut down a bar in Vegas, multiple bars in Vegas at like 7 a.m. That's how Stephanie Smalls rolls. She's awesome. And
She's a legend.
Yeah, she is a legend. So I'll be definitely checking that podcast out on Wednesday. All right, Cole, we got a lot to get to. I want to bring it back to my backyard, our backyard here in Philadelphia. Yep. What's going on with these Phillies? Of course, they just lost Ford. Everybody's calm. Yeah, right. Half the city's all panicked, but that's the way it works. We're in a football town mentality. They play 162. I'm just curious, though, when you looked at what took place against the Brewers, they got lumped. Reese Hoskins had a great game in game 2. I don't know. Like, am I just searching for excuses, or do you think there was something there, the fact that they didn't have Bryce Harper in a lineup? I get it. He only bats 4 times. He's at first base. He's not a Gold Glove or anything like that, but just not having the captain, something's missing.
Yeah, maybe the juice wasn't there. I knew you guys in Philly were hitting the panic button on the team after a couple losses, but really, I was shocked that the numbers were fine. They're 9th in pitching and 9th in offense in the last 14 days. They're not doing terrible. I mean, there are some concerning numbers. I mean, almost a 5 ERA, but still 9 strikeouts per 9, not barely a sub-1 home run per 9, and nearly 4 walks a game. I mean, it could be a lot better, but you're fine. You're fine. This is a team. I've been talking about the Phillies all week, and I don't want anyone getting mad because I'm unbiased and I just tell it how it is. Mm-hmm. The Phillies always have the perfect roster until they get into October, and then there's just a complete shell of what they should be. They just can't get over the hump. And even the people outside of Philly, me, I've wanted them to be in the World Series for the last couple of years. When Harper was going off a couple of years ago with those home runs, the postseason, I'm like, this is the year. And then they crumble. I don't know what it is, but you got to get Harper back. He is the heartbeat of that team. He's always going to be the heartbeat of that team. He's going to be there till I'm 36, I believe. So he's got a couple more years.
He's trying to get a new contract too, extension going. So maybe even longer than that.
What's the
deal with your hat? Up your units. I like.
That's my show that I do on Betting News there twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays. Up your units. Yeah, this is my logo. I paid for it. Humble brag, $100. This is what it'll get you. Also, the hair's too long. I can't even get the gel through it anymore. It's been 2.5 months since a haircut. That's why.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that vibe. Yeah, exactly. We got some comments coming in. Cousin Nikki, great follow on socials. Damn right.
Thank you. Austin,
Colby the GOAT checking in. That's what I'm talking about. No, man, it's
Thank
great.
you guys.
Saw you all over the place this weekend, and great job. Keep it going.
And then you're DJing. We can't. We're gonna not talk about you. DJ, Coach of the Year. Radio host of the year, handsome guy of the year.
You. I tell you. Let's go. No, look, the quick ball team, we're doing well. Gotta be honest with you, right? And people might not know what quick ball is. I got a 5-year-old, right? And what it is, it's the beginning of everything. And you have stations, right? You have stations. Mm-hmm. So you teach one station, the throw, and then one station the bat, one station running, and then we play 1 inning, right? And it's quick, it's fun. 5-year-olds we're talking about here. Yeah. But I gotta be honest with you. Like, I want my own station. They keep putting me with other coaches. I'm trying to get these kids to work here. I got them set up nice, and I got to share it with. Like, I can't do it, man. I got to be my own coach over there. But
you're like, I talk for a living. I can talk to these kids about anything. You want me to tell them to squish the bug? It's really easy. Come on.
The best is you get them to race. All right, who wants to race? Let's go. Race
yeah.
That's the go-to. That's the go-to. All right, speaking of the go-to, again, from the Phillies perspective, I'm curious what your thoughts are on a guy like Aaron Nola, because that's the big talking point right now for this team. Zach Wheeler is going. His wife is having a baby. She looks lovely too. Absolutely lovely.
There goes me talking about him being Cy Young. He's missing time.
Right. We're going to get into Cy Young. But what do you think about Aaron Nola and what he's been to this team? And it's like all we know is Nola here in Philadelphia. He struggled. I feel like he's got some moments where, man, he looks like he could be that the ace of the staff. And then he's got moments where he gets shelled. He's been pretty consistent come postseason, which is the most important time. But he's hurt right now. He's on. He's coming back, obviously, from disabled list. They'll get him back into the mix. But the Phillies do have 2 really good pitchers in the farm system. One that's getting the start, Mick Abel. The other one's Matt Painter's. And both of them are really, really good, just tearing it up right now. So I just wonder, I know the contract was just given to Aaron Nola, but your expectations when he bounces back, and do you think he might be in trouble to keep that spot?
How old is he again, if you know off the dome?
He's been with the Phillies for quite some time now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a sucker. If he's like older, 30, he's definitely older than 31. I thought he was way older. I was gonna say I'm a sucker for like a veteran presence in the clubhouse. You could be older than 35, but he's not 35. But maybe with the arms, you need a guy that's about a little bit older that has some knowledge for the younger guys. But if you got some better arms in the minors, you got to bring them. Like, look at the Royals. What took you so long? What took you so long bringing up Cags? How long are we going to wait? If you got good talent and good arms that you have confidence in, bring them up. What are we waiting on? You waiting on winning? You want to win or not?
Yeah.
So that's really my thoughts. But if he is a good clubhouse guy, I would understand that. I'm a sucker for good clubhouse guys. I mean, look at Brett Gardner with the Yankees. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm not the biggest Brett guy, but I know he's a clubhouse guy. Yeah, you know exactly what video I'm talking about. That lives in my head. He won me over with that video, and I'm not the biggest Brett guy. Like, I understand Yankee fans love him to death. That video, I was like, okay, he can stay till he's 40.
Yeah, that's the best.
He's good. He's good.
So good. So good. All right, let's stay in the world of Cy Young because you brought that up, and it's definitely something I wanted to get to. We know that Skeens has been dominant. Scooble's been incredible. They got the best record in baseball, but are they the award winners after it's all said and done? Is there a player that you have your eye on to expect the big second half? I know we're only a third into the season, but with Skeens at plus 125, Scooble at minus 150, Crochet is in there at plus 650, Yamamoto is plus 320. Then you go Wheeler. Is there another pitcher in your mind that we should be having our eye on right now?
I think in terms of long shots, I mean, they're already kind of long shots if you got minus 105 for a guy at the top of the odds. I don't hate Crochet. There's an 8-1 out there for him. I mean, he's got a sub 2 ERA, 106 whip, 7.7 Ks per start. I don't think that's a terrible price if you believe he can stay consistent throughout the season and maybe get a couple more better starts than Scooble, and maybe Scooble has a few where he takes a dive, but damn, he looks untouchable.
He was great.
He's electrifying. Yeah. He looks two lefties. They're funny. Two lefties that I like to win Cy Young. That's wild. But I don't hate Wheeler at 7-1. It's plus 750 on some books. I don't hate that. But again, Skeens and Scooble look the exact same. They look untouchable. They don't look like they're ever going to give you a bad outing. Skeens right now, 2.15 ERA, 9.92 whip, fifth in MLB, 6.4 Ks per start. Wheeler, nearly 8 per start, 2.96 ERA, that's 22nd, and a 92 whip, that's 6th. So they're like neck and neck, but it's so tough with Skeens. He's given up, no runs his whole career, and he's only been 2 years in? It's like, what is it, 37 starts or something like that, and only like 42 runs given up? That, and then you got nothing behind him. Nothing. They need Jared Jones back. That guy is going to help that team tremendously, but they're still not going to do anything. No, but yeah, I think it's really tough to say those two, or at least one of the two, won't get the Cy Young at the end of the season. I don't know which one would take the fall, but I would lean, if you want value, my heaviest lean is Crochet at 8-1.
Okay. Yeah. June 2nd. Here we are. A lot of baseball to be played, but it's a fun conversation when we get into the awards.
It would be much easier if it was August. So we'd have, if it was 8-1 in August, I'd be like, you're probably too late.
There it is. There it is. See, we're still in that remember the last time you hopped in?
Hey, it's April. Hey, it's April. That's what I kept saying.
Well, now it's only June 2nd, right? The Phillies lost 4 straight. It's June 2nd. All right. Everybody take a chill pill here. Speaking of awards, just let's have some fun here. This is like two guys that love sports and, of course, baseball. And I don't know, like there is potentially, I did a show on Saturday with a legend and when it comes to reporting, Dick Girardi. He's been doing it for decades, years, whatever. And he said that this potentially could be the greatest lefty hitter we've ever seen in baseball history and the greatest righty hitter in baseball history. And they're going head to head. And of course, I'm talking about Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge on Friday night. And then what do? They deliver in that first inning. They go bombs away, top of the first, bottom of the first. It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah. And all I'm saying, Colby, is that like Again, I don't really have much of a question, but like I feel like it should be bigger. I feel like this is so.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying,
man. And we're talking about the Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. Come on.
I know exactly what you're trying to get at. If it was 2007, this would be ginormous because there was so much more coverage when I was a kid, at least, and you were my age as well because we're the same age. I'm not going to get an age here. You're the same age as me. I wasn't going to make an old joke. Baseball was covered so much more heavily when I was a kid. I remember if baseball was on and I turned on ESPN, it was only ESPN for me as a kid.
Yep.
I only saw baseball. And now you turn it on, you forget baseball exists. So I think that's the problem. Also, baseball doesn't know how to market itself. They're like, oh, who's our best 3 players? Let's just market them to death. I mean, look at Mike Trout. There's more baseball players than Mike Trout. There's more baseball players than Shohei Ohtani. There's more baseball players than Aaron Judge. But, I mean, it's really hard not to talk about those two especially. Aaron Judge, that's my favorite player ever. I might be too in love with the guy as a full-grown adult, but I would probably rep a jersey as someone who believes in you can't wear a jersey at my age. Well, he's older than me. So I can probably wear his jersey, but I can't go and rep hypothetical, the youngest person I could think of at the moment. I can't go and rep a Caleb Williams jersey.
Okay.
I'm older than him. I'm not his father.
Is that the rule?
That's the rule. For me, at least, I got to have the blank jerseys. As a kid, I was like, why would anyone have those jerseys? Now I'm like, yeah, I need the blank backs.
Yeah. You get my age, trust me, they're all younger than you. So you're like, damn, it's either you're anti-jersey or not. Yeah, I got the Jalen Hurts. I got the one. I got the Barkley.
I'm not judging the people that do it, though. I'm not judging the people. Do whatever you want. It's sports. It's fun. But there should be more coverage on Shohei and Judge. I will say, what was it, the World Series? When they were like, coming up in 9 batters, Shohei Ohtani. Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that.
You're
basically saying there's no reason to watch this unless he's batting. Do not do that because the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers have the most perfect lineup. In the 9-hole has been like the hottest spot to hit in that whole lineup. Every time I watch a Dodger game, the 9-hole guy is going off.
We got Austin checking in. He says, don't take away Mike Trout from us, please.
He's an Angels fan.
Okay. One thing is for sure that the Angels never get a Cy Young winner. Okay. But the Angels are playing better. They were actually winning.
They're fun. They're fun. I will say for how bad they are, they're fun. They got some fun bats. So Hoppy's fun. Neto is electrifying. I love Campbell roll humps. Neto is fantastic for that team. They got to move Trout. I don't care if he's going to have a statue. Move the dude.
That conversation.
Is he even going to stay healthy?
He ain't going.
We talk about him like he's 45.
You don't want to hear my take on him. I love
send him to Philly.
No, well, look, it just bummed me out that he didn't want to leave, and therefore, I think he likes playing out there where it's really easy. You're under the palm tree. No, he is that great. Like, I'm not downplaying him by no means.
Yeah,
but dude, playing a game worth a damn, please. Like, have a little bit of pressure.
Just the World Classic. That's the only thing he's ever played in. I will say, I used to work with a guy who said he's extremely overrated and the whole office just lost it on him.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since he said that, I can't stop thinking about it. I'm not saying what his beginning of his career was. I'm talking about 2020 on.
Yeah, 2 years ago it made, because that was when, of course, the Philadelphia, he's at every Eagles game, Colby. He's here all the time. He's building a golf course. Or it's built, and right down in Jersey, he teamed up with Tiger Woods. It's like, dude, come play in Philly, and you just
don't have a statue if you play a year.
It just figured it would happen, and it never did. And it's not even like, okay, take Philly out of the equation. It's like, dude, are you that comfortable out there? Is that what it is? I'm sure it's really nice to be living in Southern California and playing for a team that doesn't compete, but whatever. We wanted a little bit more. Want a little bit more of Colby? You can find him on all things socials. Colby M Bets, Colby Marchio. Your betting news. Up your units, damn it. I like that. Speaking of upping our units, is there anything on the docket for you this evening that we can go ahead and get involved with at our local?
Yeah, I have one play. Well, two, because I always have two if it's a player, because I like to dabble on the home run. My muse is healthy and he's looking fantastic. Mr. Matt Wallner, I took his hit at $1.50. I'm paying the juice. I threw the unit and a half on it. I'm also on his home run. I don't remember the price, but I'm on his home run. Matt Wallner is maybe the most disrespected hitter in baseball in terms of how the books price him. They price him like he's a scrub when he's a 5-tool player and one of the most consistent hitters on the Twins lineup. And you can put him in anywhere in that lineup. He'll be leadoff. He'll be fourth. He could be anywhere. If he's going to be in the top 4 and you're giving me minus 150 for a guy just to get a base hit, I'm going to be on it every single time. He has an elite rating on batters hyphen box. Trends are fantastic. I think when he's on the road, he's like a 73% hit rate. And he's in Sacramento, 80 degrees, 10 degrees blown, or 10 degrees blown out, 10 mile an hour winds blowing out to center. It was really hard for me to say no to this. I liked everything. He matches up extremely well against Luis Severino, who gives up a lot of hits to elite rated hitters on batters hyphen box. I think it's like 73% hit rate as well. I do lean with Rooker. I don't like that he doesn't hit fastballs extremely well against, I forget who's pitching for Joe Ryan's pitching for the Twins. But everything else that Joe Ryan throws, Rooker can hit. So if you want to dabble in someone else to get a hit, someone else to homer, I like Rooker. And we were just talking about him, the most fantastic athlete in baseball, the one that says hello to every single umpire he sees, Mr. Shohei Ohtani.
Unbelievable.
There's no price worth dabbling in today. Bases are minus 140. I'm not paying $1.40 for that. He did go 0 for yesterday, which I do like. Home run is under 2-1. You could pay that. I went with the 2 at 11-1, just for fun. The guy that's pitching today for the Mets, Blackburn, hasn't thrown once this whole season. So he's coming back from injury. His first outing is against the Dodgers.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'll take a chance. I'll take a chance on 2.
Dodgers just lost 2 last night as well, so maybe get a little juice going there.
Yeah.
Minus 162 I'm seeing for Dustin May. I did see a quick hook for Dustin May. Something to keep in our minds this evening if we're back in the Dodgers, but still.
I would take team total props, like maybe take the Dodgers team total bases. That's a sexy play that I like to look at, but I don't know what the number is.
Bases for the team. I like that.
Yeah. It's a spicy prop. You don't have to worry. You don't got to worry about scoring. You just got to worry about getting on base, except when somebody else walks a ton.
Walks.
Yeah. If you think there's going to be a lot of home runs, take the team total bases.
I'm definitely with you on definitely with Austin as far as the run line is concerned. I like the Dodgers to get the job done. Is there anything big picture you're taking from the Dodgers and Yankees series from the weekend? Blowout in the middle, good game on Friday. Of course, Yankees took the third and final game of the series. Anything big picture from that series you're taking?
No, that was kind of what I expected. I mean, there was a lot of bad arms that went out there. Will Warren, thoughts and prayers, you poor SOB. He was honestly, I'm so glad I didn't say this on, I think it was on VSiN. I was going to say, I think Will Warren's going to have a good outing. Glad I didn't say that because good God, he got murdered. He kept improving every start. And of course, you go up against the best lineup of baseball, you look like a guy that should be back in AAA. But Will Warren has improved a ton. I didn't expect the Yankees to sweep or win the series. I was glad they got one. But God, would it be sweet if they ran it back in the World Series? It would be sweet. Even though last year I wish the Yanks would have lost to the Royals and Boone got fired, and then we had a little small rebuild. It would have been great. I think that would be great because I'm not a Boone guy.
Not a Boone guy.
He's too much of a player's coach.
He's a high energy guy, and he's had a lot to work with. So I think that they should have been. Yeah. Definitely that. No doubt about that. And Warren had 2 strikeouts, 7 earned. Not exactly the best 1 1/3 innings pitched there by the starter for the Yankees. All right. Keeping it moving as far as big picture conversation is concerned. We hit on a little bit of the awards. I want to have some fun with you here too as well. You and I were talking behind the scenes and I go, from the weekend, man, anything catching your attention, go ahead and let me know. But one thing that caught my attention, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a big Adam Sandler guy, but Adam Sandler tugs at back in the day strings for me, right? He was the comedian from my time and with the movies. And of course, Happy Gilmore came out. It was great. You got to love everything, the Bob Barker, everything involved with that movie.
Yeah.
But then they release Happy Gilmore 2, the trailer this weekend. And it had so many cameos. Everybody in golf is involved. This is can't miss, Colby. This is going to be the movie of the year. This is going to be the best remake ever. as far as sports movies are concerned. That's the way I'm looking at it. Your thoughts on Happy Gilmore 2 so far, just through the trailer?
Oh, God. Can we might take a half hour on this whole thing, which I have the time. And I have the time to talk about this because I have strong takes. Before we get into the movie, before we get into the trailer, I saw it. I want to say this. I'm the biggest hater of sequels, remakes. If it's been, I don't know, longer than my lifetime. Like, I was born in 96. I've seen Happy Gilmore a million times.
Okay.
There's no reason we needed to wait 30 years to remake that or make
Doesn't
a
it make
second.
it better, though? Doesn't it make it better in your mind, potentially?
I would argue that humor is dead.
Oh,
I kind of want to say it's dead. Do you ever go back and watch some movies that you loved as a kid and was like, geez, I really like the Mean Green. God. I went and watched, perfect example. I went and watched Blue Mountain State back a couple years ago, and I was like, oh.
It hit you a little bit different.
In high school, I love this. I'm like, this is terrible. I think that Adam Sandler poopy jokes, they're kind of old. I'm assuming they're a little bit more matured now since he's a little older. I'm also the biggest movie hater. Like, I don't think there's been a good movie that's come out in a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
My girlfriend loves going to the movies. She's like, we should go see this. I'm like, I never heard of it. Nothing grabs me. I think it's just the AI writers and the writers aren't trying. It's just really lazy out in Hollywood to me. Like, we really needed to remake Beetlejuice. I don't even think I was a thought when that movie came out. I don't know when it came out. 1989? I'm going to assume 89.
Yeah, it was about that. The remake did not hit. Yeah.
Did we need to, Mean Girls is making they made a remake of Mean Girls. Why? We don't need to do this.
Because Lindsay Lohan looks great. She looks great. That's why we got to run it back with her. I can't.
Yeah. But like you said, all the cameos. To me, that I don't know what it is, but when I think of that many high-powered people showing up, it just takes away from the quality of the movie because we're like, oh, we got to put them in there. A lot of these people aren't actors. So I don't know. I'm hot takes happy hour right now. They drive me insane. Insane.
I opened up this can. All right.
Please take it to Twitter, folks. Take it to Twitter. You can tag me and be like, this guy is a moron. I'm well-known moron. Well-known.
All right. Instead of remakes in the baseball world, what's a baseball movie that you actually enjoyed?
Moneyball. I mean, it's really tough not to like Moneyball.
Good,
Moneyball just gets you.
And it's one of those movies that you have to stop on. Like, if it's on, I'm watching it.
Yeah. Which I'm also on the boat with the people that are like, well, most of the stuff that actually happened doesn't get discussed. They had Barry Zito. They had all these other guys that they make it seem like they just had scrubs. I know this. It's still a good movie. I'm trying to think of what other baseball movie I like. I mean, Benchwarmers as a kid was unbelievable. But now seeing like Rob Schneider being like the jock is really weird to me. Yeah. Now that I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Major League was the one that
Major League's great. Major League is great.
It still hits.
Still hits.
The only part that is a little dicey, not even a little dicey, is my man follows her. He literally Jake follows the love interest, breaks into the house, walks in uninvited. Little, 1980.
Back then, your father would have said, if you want something really bad, you go and do it.
Yeah, you got to do it.
That's what your fathers would have said. I do not condone of that. I don't condone of that. I, Colby Marchio, don't condone of stalking a woman. That is I said it. I don't condone. But that's just what the reality was back in the day.
The fine print. We don't condone it, but we understood it back in those days. Yeah, that was the only one that really hit. But anyways, it is a good flick. All right. Great stuff as always, Colby. Always a pleasure to get you on. Your light is shining brighter than ever. But back over to baseball. One quick one again. I meant to hit on this, so let's bring it back to the division. And I'm curious because this one was something that I was thinking about over the weekend. Yesterday, a matter of fact, was the first time for the Mets that Alonso, Soto, and who the hell is it?
Lindor?
Lindor, thank you. Excuse me. All three of them homered in the same game. Now, it's not something that's going to happen every night. We understand that, but it's the first time this season, a third into the season, that it did go down. I'm curious as far as Soto is concerned, for your money, where your mind is at right now. When we start talking about the NL East, the Mets are on top of the division, albeit by a game right now. It's close. The Braves still in the rear view, but, they're not dead yet. The Phillies are the Phillies. We understand. Should we look at the Mets in a different manner because of the fact that they've been able to win without getting much from Juan Soto? Do we think Juan Soto is going to figure it out? How are you looking at the division right now, and specifically a little bit more with the magnifying glass and Soto and the Mets?
In terms of betting, if you want some value, I would say take the Braves. It's 9 games. It's 9 games. It's just June ended or May ended the other day. It's June 2nd. There's so much time to get those games back. They're going to turn it around. I think they're good enough to turn it around. And I think at like 8-1, you're getting a really good price. Now, the other two that we mentioned, I don't think I would dabble in any of those prices, but I think people should be scared of the Mets because Juan Soto only heats up as the months get hotter. He's a second half kind of guy. May of his career, he bets 285, 920 OPS, 520 slugging. June, 279, 937 OPS, 513 slugging. July, 306, 1026 OPS, 589 slugging. August, 273, 959, 549 slugging, 290 batting average in September, August. Basically, 1,000 OPS, 528 OPS. He just gets better when the temperatures get hotter. He's a slug in the first 3 months of the season. I can't wait. I love Soto. I really hated what transpired in the last couple of weeks. I found it sad because you get paid $700 million. You're automatically the face of the team. You're automatically the captain, regardless if you are or not. You are the heartbeat. You are the entire soul of that team. Hustle down the damn line. I'm going to be an old man right now. Hustle down the line. The things I would do for $700 million. If you want to bring it down, you want me to be Rafael Devers, I'll play any position. I'll go play softball for the interns. I'll do it.
For that price?
It'll be like callback. I'll be the bench warmer. I'll play short, first, second, third, everywhere in the outfield except pitcher, catcher. I'll do whatever.
I think they get those biweekly checks. I'd love to know what that looks like.
My Venmo's always available, Rafa.
Colby, you're the best, dude. Keep kicking ass and taking names. Colby in Bets is where you can find him on all things socials. Colby Marchio. You at Your Betting News. Up Your Units. When's your show? When can we catch it?
Wednesdays and Fridays is Up Your Units, and then Tuesday, Thursdays is the Pickoff. That's mostly a show I do by myself with baseball bets and whatnot. Up Your Units I do with Shaggy Betts. Shout out Shaggy Betts. This is my show when it comes to college basketball. So if you want to lose 30 units like I did on college basketball this past year, you tune in to Up Down Your Units because that's what I did. But upping your units is now fun because baseball's back.
College hoops right around the corner. I know football first, but I saw Villanova. We're the home of Villanova Wildcats. Kevin Willard's new head coach. Got the boys out there in the gym breaking a sweat. First time.
Hey, you're talking to a DePaul alumni, so Big East guy.
How about it? How about it? Colby, good luck on all those plays. One more from Mr. Cal Raleigh.
Goodbye!
That's going on the board. You the man. There he is. Colby,
you got to respect the dumper.
Respect the dumper. You're the best. We'll catch up down the road, sir. Good luck on those plays.
Likewise. Have a good one.
My man, Colby Marchio on the Gambler stream right there. Be sure to follow him on all things socials. And again, check him out with Stephanie Smalls on Wednesday. Love me some Smalls. All right. Daily Ticket rolling on. We got a lot to get to coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour. Sam Ostrey is going to join the party. Talking all things NBA playoffs with a little picks in a roll. Can't wait to get his thoughts as far as how the Indiana Pacers can make this thing interesting. Because I know he thinks Oklahoma City's going to roll, but it's never that easy. We know when it comes to wagering on these damn sports, it's never as easy as it is on paper. So how does he see this one playing out? If the Pacers can sink a few three-pointers, is that not going to keep him in the game? If Halliburton plays well like he has from, again, who's been the better player? The only player that's been better than Tyrese Halliburton all playoffs long, right, would be SGA. You give the advantage. Man, Brunson was incredible. But Halliburton's team won, so I have to say him. Can Halliburton do enough himself to keep this team in it and steal a win in Oklahoma City. You're going to hear more about that coming up at 5 o'clock as well. And oh, by the way, do want to hit this. It was sad. We're watching the close up of 35 years on NBA on TNT, and man, it hit you a little bit. Like, I came up with the Chicago Bulls. I came up in the 90s, so it was NBA on NBC. Why are you singing it, Brace? When you have it, you dummy. Yes. Anyways, I think they're taking that song with them. They're bringing it back. But it was sad. It was sad seeing TNT sign off. And I'll give you the one reason why it really tugged at me on the other side. We'll get into that as well. We got a lot to do. A couple games on the Major League Baseball board. College baseball. I meant to hit Colby with a little ting question. I wanted to know if he had any interest in the College World Series. East Carolina lost yesterday. Very sad. 1-0 to Coastal Carolina. There was a situation that took place in that regional that I'll address on the other side. I don't know if people care, but it was definitely something that I think we're getting a little over the top with. Ho-hum. It happens a lot these days. Anyways, a lot to do. Only a little time. More Daily Ticket after this.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live. Welcome. One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo! Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed tomorrow morning.
At 8.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up traffic jam, Betsy Ross Bridge eastbound. That's into New Jersey. Nearly the length on the Jersey side at 1:30. There's a car fire. The 2 right lanes are blocked. Well, whipping slow into New Jersey, down to 42 south of Creek Road. That's all volume. Watch for a crash at Fort Washington. 309 southbound, crawling Highland Avenue. Past the turnpike, the right lane is blocked. Westbound Schuylkill Jan, University to Warden Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound Jan, Montgomery Drive to South. 95 northbound, Stop and Go Vine Expressway to Bridge. All to tell it total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes give you options from a meal of classic faves to a feast of more indulgences to a whole world of deliciousness. Get Lux for less and choose your Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
owns the summer? Big Three. Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big Three. It's summer in the city. Big Three's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right. Ice Cube's Big Three. The best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played. With your favorite Big Three players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Nick Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gervin, and the 2024 Big Three champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big Three, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune in to CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
The NBA playoffs are here, and nobody has you covered like the Gambler Gang. We don't just watch the playoffs. We bet the hell out of them.
Oh, my God.
May I have your attention, please?
You're listening to The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace, Philly's first daily sports gambling show.
Let us see the down.
On Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. The action starts here.
Hey now, Daily Ticket with you here. Shout out Colby. Shout out Luke Arcaini hopping on the show here today. Coming up, 5 o'clock. All things NBA playoffs with Sam Ostry, fresh off a boat from Miami, hanging out with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs with that pink tussie. T with a T. I kid. Sam was down there having some fun, though. We caught up a little earlier today. We'll have that for you here. I'm an idiot. It is a Monday. We're having some fun. All right, let's go ahead and real quick from the weekend, I did have this, and I'm a huge deal. I am a huge fan of the legendary Roots crew. When it comes to the Roots, Philadelphia's own, it's my favorite band of all time. I have been to probably 20 plus shows seeing the Roots, know a couple members, humble brag, and have been just a lifelong fan from the late 90s. I got a late start to the Roots to where we're at right now. And I know the Roots picnic had some big hiccups this weekend. Easy for me to say. I understand that I was not there. And if you were there and you had to wait in line for 3 hours and some of the things that are being said on Saturday, then I get that why you'd be so upset. But as a guy who's been to many concerts, a few festivals, because festivals are different, I just feel like if you pay attention to what was taking place, and we had an unbelievable amount of rain fall the day before on Friday and Thursday and Wednesday, and it was all the accumulation, and it slopped it up. And I know a lot of people are like, it's going to be dirty. It's going to be messy. It's going to be nasty. And don't wear your good shoes. Ho hum. But I kind of did expect some things to be, a little bit different from the scheduling. I thought that they would deal with some hiccups. I thought that there would be some conflict. Now, could it always be handled better? Of course. Absolutely. Of course. And for the people that drove up and wanted to be here early, and I mean, I'm with you. I feel for you. But it was a 2-day festival. Saturday was a brutal day. I get it. Wasn't exactly how you drew it up. Sunday was 10 times better from what I heard. Nobody being seen on the timeline yesterday. Great music across the board. Like, these things aren't easy. So long-winded, let me get to it. Would you have rathered the Roots to cancel it altogether? Like, okay, the weather is weather, it's bad weather. We're canceling all Saturday and we'll be back on Sunday. Would you have rather them do that? Or would you rather them say, you know what, let's try and make this happen for both days? And again, the communication should have been better. I get it. I'm with you. But for the people that are just dragging, pun intended, the Roots through the mud, I just like easy. That picnic, the Roots picnic now, I want to say, because I went the first 5 years. I would imagine that's been going on probably for 15, probably more. 15 puts us at what, 10? Did I see them in 2010? No, maybe not. Maybe not 2010. 2012, somewhere around there, somewhere around that ballpark. I could be off on that. It all runs together these days. I'm getting old. Oh, well. I just, look, it's one thing to be upset. It's one thing to say, you know what, I'm not going next year. I got my fill. I don't need to deal with that again. It's another to just absolutely rip these guys to shreds. Like they're not Philadelphia. Like they don't represent us in a right way. Like they're not good people. Things didn't go right. I understand. Take it up with Ticketmaster. Take it up with the people that you bought your tickets from. You don't have to tweet Questlove and expect a comment back and everything along those lines. It's just take a deep breath. All right. That's all. Long-winded. I'm glad that they were able to get it off. I'm glad that there was no injuries. Sorry that people had to deal with some nonsense, but all in all, looked like a pretty damn good show yesterday. One that I was actually wishing I was at, but I'm too old for that stuff. Anyways, have fun at the Roots picnic moving forward. All right, Daily Ticket here with you on a Monday, getting back to my odds and ends, the news and notes. Again, from the weekend, we discussed Scotty Scheffler's dominance and what he continues to do at plus 280. It was just incredible to be able to watch him perform, and he is worth the price of admission. Speaking of the Roots picnic, worth the price of admission. To be able to watch Scotty, and you don't want to miss it right now because he literally is the best golfer we've seen since Tiger Woods. And oh, by the way, plus 280 seems to be the number because right now for the U.S. Open, which is going off on Thursday, June 12th, Oakmont, plus 280 right now to win the U.S. Open. Rory at plus 650, Bryson plus 900. I don't believe that this is due to the fact that there aren't good enough golfers to compete with them. I'm not subscribing to that theory that some dude put on my timeline earlier. Rory's playing great. Bryson's very capable. We saw what he did last year at Pinehurst. John Rahm played very well in the Masters. Xander Schauffele, who had potentially a better year than Scotty Scheffler last year. Morikawa's gotten the job done. And if you don't think Oberg can get it done, and Justin Thomas, who won down in Charleston earlier this year, could potentially win the U.S. Open, that I don't think you have been paying attention. Is the field deep? I wouldn't say that could potentially win it. But those guys I just rattled off at the top of the DraftKings odds board absolutely could get the dub for a U.S. Open. And I didn't even mention Brooks Koepka, who plays well in these spots. Shane Lowry's been having a great year. Tommy Fleetwood had a good weekend. Well, Tommy's not winning the U.S. Open, but you understand. Seb Straka might. He's a guy you want to keep an eye on. And 65-1 at the U.S. Open. It's been playing really good this year. Anyways, Scotty has just been dominant. No surprise. Plus 280. And I tip my cap from the betting perspective for anyone out there that did place a wager on Scotty to win at Memorial and cash that ticket. On Wednesday, when we discussed it, I'd go, oh, who in their right mind would play that? And then it finishes, and then it ends. And then what happens? If you place the wager on Scotty Scheffler, you just won plus 280. That's a damn good payout. Is it the right play? I guess it comes down to like wins and losses, right? If it wins, it's always the right play. It's your money. Spend it how you want. For my liking, my approach, plus 280 is a tough get. But I wish I had plus 280 with Scotty Scheffler versus every other play I had last weekend at Memorial. We'll see. Again, just a fantastic tournament. Jack's course is really tough. Really tough. Thick rough, some interesting shaped holes. I watched the one par 5. It was literally like an L. Straight drives, and you had to put the brakes on the drive. And if you went too far, then you had a tree in your approach. It was a great course, and Jack knows how to design a course very well. So I thought it was fantastic, and all the great golfers were there, except for Rory. Needs some time off. Ho-hum. Get ready for the U.S. Open. We'll see what happens. That's on Thursday the 12th. Looking forward to swinging and ding it. Moose Mays and Danielle this week. Of course, they'll recap everything Scotty, and of course, we're getting closer to the U.S. Open. So more on that from the folks over at Swing It and Ding It. And again, Scotty, I rolled this stat out. I know we're going to stat you to death when it comes to Scotty Scheffler. Only Sam Snead, Jack, Tiger have reached 16 wins quicker in their career than Scheffler has. That was Scheffler's 16th win in his tour career yesterday. Nice work by Scotty and anybody that had him at plus 280. All right, I do want to hit this fast if we could, because I know that Sam and I are coming up at 5 o'clock here. Picks and roll, all things NBA playoffs, front and center to look ahead to the NBA finals. But recapping what we know about the New York Knicks and the East. And I think that's more important to us here with the fact that the 76ers, who, the odds came out. Oh, by the way, the odds came out for next year. 25-1, you can get the 76ers to win the NBA championship. If you're feeling froggy, take a leap on that one. I would tell you to save your money on that one.
My Lord.
Yeah, a 35-year-old Paul George and Joel Embiid on one leg, not going to get the job done, as you see how difficult it is. And that's where I want to go with this conversation real fast, if we could. The fact that you have New York Knicks fans contemplating firing Tom Thibodeau right now, like Thibs has his way, and for some Knicks fans, I'm not saying he's above criticism by no means, but I think you have to take a step back immediately after losing the way that they did against the Indiana Pacers and say to yourself, Pacers were the better team. They just were. They were the better team last year. I know you have that revisionist history with the injury, and that might have played into it. Understood. Pacers advanced last year. This year, no injuries. You were fully healthy. You had Brunson out there. You had Karl Anthony Towns out there. You had Josh Hart. You had Mikal Bridges. You had all the bench pieces you need. You had a full roster ready to go, and you didn't advance. Now, you blew game one because of the bad comeback that you gave up, understood, but I still think Indiana was the better team. They were going to win that series, even if they lost game one. They went in and stole game two, so that's home court advantage in their favor. I'd like the Pacers to win that series. They came out on top. Now, for the folks out there that are Knicks fans that are saying, look, we've seen this before. Look at what Mark Jackson did with Steve Kerr, right, with Golden State. And we could go down the list and look at some of these teams, like what Phil Jackson was able to do with the Lakers once he took over. I get it. I understand that there are some scenarios that you can go back in time and you can say, well, it worked for this one, and this is why we should do it. I just don't think that this is one of those cases. And I know that Malone is available. And that could be potentially the championship mentality coach or the championship experience that you're looking for, because, Thibs' record career-wise postseason, I think he's a game under 500, decent as far as regular season is concerned. We saw what took place in the regular season this year. He is flawed. But I don't think this is one of those deals where if you go out there and get Malone or whatever, name your coach. And look, there are great coaches out there, so I'm not going to sit here and say that no one's going to improve the Knicks team. But for my money for Tibbs and what he was able to do with that team, getting in the buy-in, playing his way, the endurance that it takes to compete, is he perfect? No. Could he change some things? Sure. But specifically, I would say that the Knicks need to add than subtract. I think the Knicks need to get a deeper bench, potentially more help. I think there is truth to the matter that, you know what, when it comes to the longer into the season you get, the more tired that your main pieces are, your players are. Yeah, there's probably truth behind that. And I think that we've seen it now. You saw fourth quarter where they blew it. They didn't have really much in the tank to beat the Pacers. I get it. But get stronger where it counts, where it matters. The bench. That's only going to help you. The deeper the team, the better opportunity you will have when it comes to these spots, Eastern Conference Finals, second round, whatever it may be. That's the difference for my money. We saw the Pacers run 10 deep. They got production from basically 8, 9. Sam's going to talk a little bit more about what he saw from the Pacers and the production that they got last night. That was unexpected, or Saturday, excuse me. That is the key for the Knicks to take that next step, not firing Thibs and bringing in some coach, whether it's Malone or not, and expecting this team now, all of a sudden, we're going to get over the hump here. Knicks did some great things this year. And remember, against Oklahoma City, against Cleveland, against Boston in the regular season this year, winless, 0-10. What'd they do? Beat Boston in the playoffs when it counted most. Lasted longer against the Pacers, who ended up losing or beating the Cavs. Oklahoma City's still standing. We get that, but like it's not all coming to a close in a bad light. I get it. You're home. You didn't get the job done. There's only going to be one team that's happy after it's all said and done. Had a hell of a season the Knicks did. And I don't think firing Thibs is the right way to go. And I don't think he was getting fired point blank. We know about the relationship with the front office. We know about Brunson's there. Thibs is the guy. He's not going anywhere. But there are a lot of vocal Knicks fans right now saying this is the talking point. He's gotten as far as he can. He's at his ceiling. You need somebody that could take it another step. Unless, again, show me the example. Maybe I can get down with changing my mind a little bit. But I would run it back with Thibs and see what he can do, because it's been 2 solid seasons by the Knicks, and they were terrible, absolutely terrible for years. So all you Knicks fans out there, I know you don't really have a brain all that much. Bing bong, but calm down, all right? All right, more NBA discussion on the other side. Sam Ostry joins the party. I'll be back tomorrow live, 3 p.m. Brand new daily ticket. Shout out Luke Arcaini. Shout out Colby Marchio. Always a pleasure to get those guys on the show. We'll be back tomorrow with Luke Arcaini. More on the Phillies, a little bit more detailed. And, of course, they're back in action taking on the Blue Jays. So a lot to discuss there. Picks and roll. Myself, Sam Ostry, all things NBA Finals. On the other side, more after this.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know. We highlight Jennifer Lawson.